Alright, here he is, the sorcerer. Okay, so we haven't seen this guy featured in quite a while. We made some updates, made an update to his effects. He has a force sword now. Looks a bit like a power sword, but it's just missing the effects actually on the sword itself. Those will be added very shortly. Probably next week we'll be able to show you the effects. Right now it's functioning similarly to a chainsword. In the future we'll be adding, giving it its own stats, and it'll have the ability to use force actions with warp charges, etc. Right now, it's similar to a chainsword. For those of you who haven't seen the sorcerer in a while, remember the sorcerers will have access to many different psychic powers. Right now he has a healing beam, which I will show you right now. Wow. So right now I am healing Noah. So what I was going to demonstrate, I have to shoot you in the head again, I'm sorry. Okay, is how to revive the character. So if I start healing him, it basically ticks back up his bleed out damage, and then he can stand up. Note that that is a proper two-sided chainsword, like the traditional chaos method. If you want to demonstrate on Human how that gets used. Chop him, chop him, chop him! Execute him! Yes, now this is the right way to do it. The two-sided chainsword, and down. Display of blood. The chainsword teeth are actually animated. They speed up when you do melee attacks. Also, we've smoothed out the actual boost into the air. So you can boost into the air like this. There's some cool new effects that sort of do a big burst when you come up. But we've also smoothed out the evade into boost. So you can, rather than roll, you can sort of evade while you're fighting. And it will always trigger an evade because we want that to happen instantly.
Yeah, also, I guess they might have
pretty cool.
This map is brighter now. The sun is in a different place.
Yes, that's right. The sun is lighting it up. It's a lot brighter. We're still obviously tuning a lot of these things, but this is kind of what we're going for, is the more epic 40K grim dark space apocalypse level world. So as you can see, Chaos has flipped A, and now B is active, so we should be trying to attack and regain A, and Chaos should be trying to attack B. If they take all of them, then Chaos wins. Those are the basics of Tug of War mode, which is one of the 3 modes that we'll be having for the output.
Now, capture point B has now been taken, so that you can see that capture point A has a lock, and capture point D has a lock, and B and C are both open.
Last week, when we were doing our tests on the game design team, we concluded that nobody could beat the Devastator. He was basically better than anyone else. So if he's bracing, or if he's standing still and aiming, like this, then he should be able to be a real threat to just about anybody. So if the Tactical and the Devastator meet, surprise each other in a corridor, then the Tactical should win, because the whole point of him is that he is quickly adjustable into any circumstance. So you'll notice I'm about to click the button. Here I am clicking it now. Now there's a 1-second delay before he starts firing from the hip. The goal of the jump pack assault is basically sort of surprise and assassination. So you're trying to use your increased maneuverability to get past the defenses, come up behind guys, and slaughter them. But it's for the greater good, brother. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
It's the first iteration of the ragdoll system.
People should realize that what we're showing on the Twitch every single Friday is usually a build from the morning that can blow up at any time in our faces.
Yep.
So we are sitting here in dire danger.
One interesting thing about game development and making a level, of course, is that we want to, up until the last minute, leave it as flexible as possible to adjust for gameplay. And so as soon as you start really getting in there with the polish elements like lighting and final art assets and things like that, then it becomes harder to change for gameplay. So, of course, you want to do those kinds of passes as late as humanly possible. And of course, because you guys are going to be playing this game very soon, most likely there will have to be more changes after. We have just implemented the XP events system. So we've got a big set of events, downs, assists, but right now I'm going to show you it. It's going to be very underwhelming. But trust me, this underlying work was a lot of work. And we're going to be integrating it better very soon. So just to demonstrate, hello, Noah.
Oh.
That. Hey, look, 256, that's me. Down to 257, that's Noah. XP 100 for a normal player. So that is evidence that the XP system is working. And this is basically what happens in game development. Is you put in things like logs and stuff just to show you that it's happening. Then you pretty it up later. So right now the XP is just sort of serving as your score, which will be appearing on that screen very soon. But first thing to do is to put in all the events. We've got assists, we've got downs, we've got capture points. You can capture them and you'll get points for that. One of the things we've changed is that I'll describe it. The way it's described is that we are now detecting whether to enter the standing cover system. Actually, it's any cover, but the standing is the big change, based on acceleration. So only if you are pressing towards a wall will you enter it. So I'm moving towards this wall, and therefore I stick my back up against it. I'm moving towards this wall, and therefore I stick my back up against it. There's a lot of work to do with like the camera and things like that, but this is a big improvement because it's more indicative of what the player is trying to do than what we were using before. Before we were just detecting where your character was. Let's see. Whoa, what's that? Yeah, see, so now I'm not sticking to the cover or anything like that just by walking through. But if I actually actively press towards the wall, then I will enter the cover system. And why don't you fire your las cannon at the front of the Predator. Pew! So it did some damage, not a huge amount. Let's try the back. Back's over there.
What exactly are those sand bags made out of? Because somebody's pointing out like the Predator doesn't, annihilate them. They must be some like...
We are currently in the process of reviewing